Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to Cricket Happenings. On this part of the Cricket Happenings show, I would like to share the Sri Lankan victory over the West Indies in the third Test match, chasing 144 for victory. It was at even Stevens yesterday night, but Sri Lanka have done a great job here, especially being crippled with no Dinesh Chandimal and no Rangana Herath, their prime spinner. I thought Sri Lanka have done a great job. They have actually gone on to square the series 1-1 against the West Indies, and I think it's a commendable job. Today, the two Pereiras stuck it out in the center and saw to it that Sri Lanka actually went on to win the third test and square the series. So we'll have a look at that. So congratulations to Sri Lanka for squaring the series. A very, very commendable effort, especially considering that they were crippled in many respects after losing Captain Chandimal in the ball tampering incident and also losing their prime bowler Rangana Herath from the Test match. Well, I'll be looking into that. So it was pretty easy work today in the morning, but the West Indians tried their best to stop them. But so the pink ball cricket continues to elude the West Indies. This is the West Indies' third consecutive loss in day-night Test matches, and that too in front of their own crowd. That was not something that they would have expected. And for me, this result has really come as a surprise. Because I did not give much chances to Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka has to be really commended for their efforts. I'll be talking about that in greater detail, and then we will look at two matches which are coming up. Tomorrow, as you know, India are embarking on the tour of England, en route to England. They take on Ireland in two T20s, and tomorrow is the first T20. I'll be doing a very brief preview of that. And also, Australia, after being drubbed 5-0, by England in ODIs, would be playing a solitary T20, and that's going to happen tomorrow as well. It's a day-night encounter, only under T20. I will do a brief preview of that as well to see whether Australia can turn their luck around. As far as the match was concerned, as I said, the Sri Lankans were set yesterday a target of 144 runs to victory. They lost Gunatilaka for 21, Udavati for none. This is something which I talked about. Dhananjay Silva made 17. And today the hope was they had Roshan Silva, or it was Dikwala and Pereira, I suppose, because their half the team were in the pavilion at 74 for 5. But Kushal Mendes was there at the crease, and that was the saving grace for them. And he was along with I think he was along with Roshan Silva, I reckon. So Roshan Silva was gone today. In fact, they were 5 down yesterday, and today Kushal Mendes was nipped out pretty quickly by Jason Holder, who took his 5th wicket here, and he won that LBW appeal. It was a good line ball. It skidded in, hit the Mendes on the back pad, and Mendes was given the marching instructions there. So he was gone, LBW, and he was the main hope, 25. So one thought that West Indies will probably bounce back with the score on 81 for 6, with still a long way to go. But Roshan Silva, in the meanwhile, we saw Roshan Silva being dismissed by Holder for 1, and Dikwala losing his stumps to Holder for 6 with 1 boundary, and that really set a sort of a real flutter in the Sri Lankan camp with the score on 81 for 6. And but the two Pereiras made sure that Sri Lanka, and Kushal Pereira was brave enough, even though yesterday he suffered an injury on the fence, as you remember, trying to catch a ball. He did a wonderful job, and both did not take any risk. But the West Indian bowlers tried their best to actually tempt them. But I thought Pereira and the two Pereiras really did a good job. in the end, the victory was Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka squaring the series 1-1. Pereira was Dilruwan Pereira, who has this habit of really blocking deliveries, which he has done in the past as well. Did that to perfection. 23 with 3 boundaries. Pereira, 28. Kushal Pereira. Was good to see that Kushal Pereira came out to bat, which was very brave of him, one thought. He was not out on 28 with 2 boundaries. Game over, 144 for 6. And Sri Lanka winning the third test match by 4 wickets and also squaring the series 1-1. Roche won for 33, but Jason Holder was named the man of the match for his splendid bowling figures of 14.2 overs, 4 maidens, 41 runs and 5 wickets. And Sri Lanka will be very proud of this effort. As I said, it was a crippled team, and kudos to Sri Lanka for doing this to West Indies in the third test match despite all their injuries. So Jason Holder, man of the match, and the player of the series going to that promising wicketkeeper batsman from West Indies, who I'm sure is definitely going to be known a lot, Shane Dowditch, the wicketkeeper, and he was rightly named player of the series. I thought it was a real find for the West Indies as far as Shane Dowditch is concerned. He showed consistency, and he also showed that he could be a good crisis man as well, and also his keeping behind the stumps was superb. So keep it up, Shane Dowditch, and Shane Dowditch getting the player of the series, and he would be very happy about it. And I thought he's one of another promising batsman emerging from the West Indies team, and that is encouraging news. Right, now, as I said, we will talk about the preview of the first T20 match, which is coming up between India and Ireland tomorrow at Malahide. And as you know, Pakistan gave a sort of a they lost to Ireland, but definitely they did their bit. And Ireland, are going to be Ireland are going to be led by a new captain, Gary Wilson. William Porterfield is no longer the captain. Gary Wilson is the one who will be leading the side. Gary Wilson, when I've seen his words, he has come up, he has really spoken some confident words. He said that anybody can win a T20 game on their day. And yes, that is something which is always there. And he is sounding very confident. So I'm sure he's a confident captain, he's a motivated captain, and he would lead his wards in a wonderful way. So Gary Wilson has his troops, Paul Sterling and William Porterfield. It would be good to see. He's a good batsman. He has been a very good captain for Ireland, but he has also been a good batsman. So I'm expecting a lot of pressure to come out of William Porterfield, and probably tomorrow one is really looking out for a wonderful opening partnership between Paul Sterling and William Porterfield as his burden of captaincy is gone. Andy Balbirnie, who has been a sort of a wonderful batsman for Ireland, for Ireland, slowly developing. Then Simi Singh is a very utility all-rounder. Gary Wilson, the captain himself, leads by example. And then there's no Niall O'Brien, so it's only Kevin O'Brien in the mix, who actually scored that century in the historic Test match. And everyone knows, India also knows Kevin O'Brien's capabilities as to what he can do. And these are smaller grounds. Let's understand that as well. The bowling will be in the hands of Stuart Thompson. Stuart Pointer is the wicket-keeper batsman. They have the spinner George Dockrell, the experienced hand. Boyd Rankin who is the bowler, and he has been bowling very well of late. Joshua Little would be probably unleashed tomorrow. He's just 18 years of age, but I'm told he has some raw pace with him. It will be good to see Joshua Little in action against an experienced Indian team. And so that is as far as Ireland are concerned. As far as India are concerned, they are led by Virat Kohli, who is back. So Virat Kohli will lead the team. Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan will open, and one of the tried and very trusted openers, and they could be very dangerous openers at that. Let me tell you that, because they really provide a sort of a great platform for the Indian other batsmen to go on the attack. And Suresh Raina, whether it would be Suresh Raina, KL Rahul or Manish Pandey, that's left to question. They have the mercurial Mahendra Singh Dhoni walking in at number 5, Dinesh Karthik. There's a lot of batting in this Indian camp here. Hardik Pandya, the all-rounder, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the bowler, Kuldeep Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, so they would probably, whether they go with three-pronged pace attack or whether they would like to have the spin of Kuldeep Yadav, Yuzvendra Chahal, that would be interesting to see. And Jasprit Bumrah, who would be the sort of real key for India as far as bowling is concerned. And let's also understand that this particular pitch is going to be, it's a small ground, and I'm sure we are probably going to see a lot of fireworks in this particular match, and it will be very interesting to see how the two teams can have some great fun. And Ireland will be hoping that they could get some nice things out of this match against India. So that is, and then the next preview that I'm going to do is England versus Australia. As I said, the solitary T20 is going to be played after the heavy drubbing that England did to Australia with a final victory which was never achieved in the past in a 5-match ODI series. So now it will be at Manchester Old Trafford, where a solitary T20 will be played. And first, I have a feeling that Australia, even though they don't have the services of Stephen Smith and David Warner, who was sorely missed in the ODIs, but I can say in T20 it's a different ball game altogether, and it will be interesting to see as to what Australia can conjure up. And they have a new camp, so Australia will be led by Arun Finch. So Arun Finch will lead the way, and I'm sure he will be opening the innings with DRC shot, and that's an awesome combination. Travis Head has been in some good touch of late, so that is something which augurs well. And Travis Head, let me tell you, can play some very, very good strokes. He can be very aggressive at times. And then they have, I thought this Australian T20 team is looking pretty strong. Glenn Maxwell, Nick Maddinson is a good hitter of the ball. He stays there and hits the ball clean as a whistle. Alex Carey has shown that the wicketkeeper batsman has already shown that he has some real substance in him. And then Ashton Agar himself is an all-rounder. Marcus Stoinis, we all know what a wonderful all-rounder he's slowly developing into. And then the bowling would be in the hands of Billy Stanley, the tall guy, Kane Richardson, and Andrew Tye. Now Andrew Tye was discarded after being very costly in the ODIs, but Andrew Tye probably, I think on a T20, he would be quite a sort of a tough customer to deal with. Whether the conditions, they say that there could be dry conditions as well. So if that is going to be the case, then probably one would have not been surprised with the leg spinner Mitchell Sweepson being given an opportunity to show his wares against the Englishman. It will be interesting to see what really comes out of that. England, it's already been decided that Josh Butler, who hit that century in the final ODI to take England to a final victory in the ODI series, and as you know, this was an experimentation which was done in the IPL as well, and Butler will definitely open the innings with Jason Roy, and I think that is something which is one is really waiting to watch, because both Butler and Roy can be really dangerous if both of them get going at the same time. Alex Hales will come one drop. Then they have Joe Root's solidity. Johnny Bairstow will be slotted at number 3, and he is also someone who normally can be very, very, I would say, very dangerous at times. And Morgan comes at, so this England team is also looking equally strong, and I think we are in for a great contest here at Manchester Old Trafford in the solitary T20. Moeen Ali, they have Chris Jordan coming back for the T20. He's a specialist, as you know, with his Yorkers and slower deliveries. Liam Plunkett, the all-rounder, Adil Rashid, and David Willey, another specialist as far as T20s are concerned. So I think we should have a very good game of cricket here, no doubt about it. Plenty of entertainment at Manchester and Old Trafford in the solitary T20. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's about time for me to end this daily cricket show by bidding you all a very good night. Thank you.